in to ABC News on Channel 54. I'm your news anchor, Regan. We're here live in Washington, D.C. regarding the Philippine territory. Ferdinand Magellan discovered the Philippines in 1521. Parts of the Philippine Islands were known to Europeans before the 1521 Spanish expedition around the world led by Portuguese-born Spanish explorer Ferdinand Magellan. He claimed the land for the King of Spain, but was later killed by a local chief. The first permanent settlement was established in 1565 after defeating a local Muslim ruler. The Spanish set up their capital at Manila in 1571. During the 7 Years' War, British East India Company forces captured Manila. Although the Philippines was returned to Spain at the end of the war, then, in April 1898, the Spanish-American War broke out. This leads us to today's discussion. Now to Annika for the U.S. occupation.
As you heard from Regan, the Spanish had control over the Philippines, but not for long as the U.S. took it over. America got the Philippines after the Spanish-American War. Once the U.S. defeated Spain, Spain seceded the colony of the Philippines to America in the Treaty of Paris. 2 days later, a fight broke out between the Philippines and America. The leader of this rebellion believed that they should have independence instead of a change. In result, the Philippine-American War broke out and lasted 3 years. When the war ended, the Philippines lost many soldiers. The U.S. annexed the Philippines for many different reasons. A few of the reasons are that the U.S. believed the Philippines could not self-rule themselves. Another powerful country could take them over if we did not, and many more reasons. Now to Catherine, the Philippine native, to discuss the territory now that is under the U.S. control.
We are here live in the Philippines with Danielle. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to ask a few questions regarding the Philippines now that it is under U.S. occupation.
Thank you for having me. I love to answer any questions you may have.
All right, to start off, what were the conditions like when the Philippines was under U.S. occupation?
As many as 20,000 Filipino siblings of men have died from diseases, violence, and famine after the war. Overall, there are not good conditions around here at all. We lost so many people from all these horrible diseases and violences. I really just wish the conditions would have been a lot more better around here.
Wow, it seems like it was a very terrible time for you and everyone on the island after the war. Now that it's been a few years, has anything been different for you?
The conditions are getting better, however, it is still never going to be the same around here. The whole atmosphere has changed around the Philippines, including people's attitudes and their daily routines.
Well, I wish you the best and thank you for your time. Now to Annika for the next discussion.
A lot of you may be wondering why the U.S. wanted this territory in the first place. Well, the biggest reason is because the U.S. wanted to expand and become a bigger country. Their theory was that if they don't take the Philippines, then a different country would. Even though the U.S. did annex the Philippines, there are many people who believe we should not annex them. The main argument was that it was against American history to annex. Now that you have a little understanding of how the U.S. annexed the Philippines, let's go to Catherine for how the U.S. wanted to change the Philippines.
Well, even though America occupied the Philippines, there were still consequences. There were many fights that broke out between the American forces and the Filipino nationalists. They continued and led into what is now called the Philippine-American War. This resulted in many deaths of Americans in Filipino combat. However, not only consequences came from the U.S. occupation. Taft brought in the idea of having schools, transportation, and health care. Now let's see what Regan has to say about the future of the Philippines.
I think many people are concerned what the future holds for the Philippines. I know that the Filipinos really didn't like us and all they wanted was independence. Luckily for them, they got it. Now I think that the Filipinos are a lot happier and the future is very bright for them. Thank you for tuning in to ABC News on Channel 54. We'll hope to see you back tomorrow.
We would like to give a big thanks to our sponsor, Mustache Kit. Here's a customer who has had great results.
Thanks, Mustache Kit, for helping me have a mustache when I couldn't grow one.